Good evening, everyone. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Shira Zeller, and I would like to state what an honor it is to be speaking with you all tonight. Never in a million years did I think I would be selected to speak on what an insurmountable impact YEHUDI has made not only on my own life, but on countless other students' lives thus far. Everyone has a story. Each person's unique from one another. At YEHUDI, one thing they always love to ask with emphasis and excitement is, what is your Jewish story? They asked this one question at one of the trips I participated in as a team builder one night, and we were there for hours on end, hearing all of these individualistic Jewish journeys. Now, you might think this is simple, a rather simple question, but when put into context, I can't help think of the Jewish geography game, and we all know how that is. Everyone is all over the place, and our stories are completely different, but somehow we managed to know at least one person in common with Jews that we have just met. With that being said, I'd like to share with you my Jewish story with you all and the role that YEHUDI played. I was born in Pembroke Pines, Florida, into a Jewish family. Growing up, I was fairly active in the Jewish community. I went to the JCC and studied at Temple Beth Emet for quite some time. It seemed as though, as life continued on, I just kind of lost touch. Overall, throughout my teen years, I would consider myself Jewish, emphasis on the ish, as my boss would say. Fast forward to 2015, when I finally started college at the beautiful Florida International University. Yes. Now, one thing that was very important to me throughout college was to make the most of my time. I value time so much, and I wanted to make sure I graduated with no regrets. I was so excited to leave my mark as a Panther at FIU because of the various academic and extracurricular activities that are offered to students. For instance, there are over 300 organizations students can get involved in. Now, if I had more than 40 hours in a week to go to class, work, have a social life, I probably would have done it all. I am not going to lie, I would have done it all. But obviously life happens, I don't have all that time. I just became so busy. Next thing I knew, it was the end of my junior year, and I just felt as though I was moving through life with emotions. If I wasn't in class, I was at work, and if I wasn't at work, I was in a meeting. I quickly realized that there was just something missing from my life. I'd been so focused on the growth of others in the community that I forgot about myself. At that moment, I vowed that in my senior year, I was going to pursue all the things I had never had the opportunity to do previously. I first went on my birthright trip to Israel. As most of you know, Birthright is this beautiful organization that allows Jewish Americans the opportunity to have their birthright back to visit the land of Israel. When I was younger, I went to Israel a few times. No, you're good. Technical difficulties, everyone, it's okay. Thank you. Now you guys can probably hear me all. When I was younger, I went to Israel a few times, as more than half of my ginormous family lives there. I guess when I was younger, I didn't see the true value that was presented to me. It just seemed more exciting because it was a trip. However, that instantly changed on Birthright. That trip opened up so many doors for me. I gained this new sense of appreciation and love for Israel and Judaism as a whole. I wanted to learn more and be more involved in my religion, realizing that my closeness to Judaism is what was missing all along. Following Birthright, I attended a Shabbat dinner at Hillel that they were hosting to kick off the new semester. I remember I was talking with some people who mentioned that there was going to be this trip in May to Poland with this organization called YEHUDI. I was eager, I was hungry, I was craving more, so I applied to be a participant on this trip, and it made me step out of my comfort zone. I decided to take a chance, and my life was forever changed. When I am meaning to tell you that this was probably the best decision that I have ever made was truly an understatement. This trip made me be someone who is forever proud of her Jewish identity. You know, you watch these movies, documentaries, read books, or hear about the atrocities of the Holocaust, but firsthand seeing and being there in person brought up just such mixed emotions. My great-grandmother was a Holocaust survivor who saw the Nazis murder her mother in front of her very eyes. It was the toughest experience knowing that most people that walked into these camps never made it out. The best form of revenge on Hitler and his final solutions was being able to walk out of Auschwitz alive years later, proudly, when I say proudly, I mean proudly holding Israel's flag. There are no words to explain or describe how much that trip in particular has played a role in my life, except that I now felt as though it was my duty to be a better Jew. They couldn't live, so it's now up to us to live for them. The impact and the ripple effect that Poland had on me was incredible. I was seeking a deeper understanding of the history of Judaism and the applications to life with the Torah. One of the rabbis saw this interest and suggested I attend Sinai Retreats, which is this retreat program in New York that's quite similar as if you were studying at a seminary. The people and the learning conducted there was spectacular. I gained a better sense of Judaism and felt like I was a part of something bigger than myself. Thank you to the Berkman and Stillerman families who were both there and were so just welcoming and just provided a sense of comfort in this new environment. I was lucky enough to have Adina be my tutor and mentor, who literally personalized everything for me, and those lessons I carry with me still dearly to this day. In my final semester at FIU, I was grateful for the one-on-one Jewish learning every single week with Rebbetzin Batsheva. Not only did she quickly become a role model, yes, give her a round of applause. Not only did she quickly become a role model as a Jewish woman, but she became a friend. It further emphasized the importance of Jewish learning to me. That way I could start educating others, and thus a domino effect. I'll never forget the extraordinary feeling of being in Rome and Israel again with YEHUDI. With all the knowledge that I had gained this past year, everything just felt right about spending Hanukkah in the old city. In the day and age that we as Jews are currently living in, we must strive to thrive in the face of adversity. We must stand up for the injustices that our community is facing as a whole and truly embrace who we are through and through. They say history always repeats itself, but it does not have to if we start with education as the foundation. Having a Jewish education is a right every Jew should have, and I wholeheartedly believe YEHUDI is doing just that. I feel as though I'm standing up here and that I'm living proof that a dynamic Jewish education will and has allowed me to pass down the torch to future generations to come. If it were not for YEHUDI, I would not be the person I am today. What I want for myself and future outlook on life has completely changed. With the hopes of learning more, I plan on one day spending more time in Israel studying at seminary. All of the hard work gone into making YEHUDI the organization that it is does not go unnoticed whatsoever. Thank you, YEHUDI, for eternally making me feel like a part of the Jewish family. Thank you.